Among the philosophers of the Stoic school, Marcus Aurelius stands as one of the greatest symbols. Yet on the surface, many still think that as the Roman emperor, he had it all: power, wealth, fame, and all the other luxuries. However, Marcus's life was far from being as easy as it appeared. After reading How to Think Like a Roman Emperor by Donald Robertson, we gain a clearer picture of Marcus Aurelius's true life, a life filled with conflict and misfortune. Robertson not only recounts the biography of this emperor, but also explains how Marcus's way of living reflected the core principles of Stoicism. It was a way of life grounded in patience, self-control, and the ability to overcome adversity, principles that Marcus continually applied in his role as the leader of a vast empire. In the following parts of the video, we will summarize the key points of the book through the core Stoic principles that Marcus practiced. Let's delve into his life from an objective and deeper perspective to better understand how Stoic philosophy can transcend time, offering peace and wisdom to people, even in the face of immense challenges. 1. Love and relationships. Marcus Aurelius, born in 121 AD in Rome, had a remarkable education from a young age. Although his first teachers were primarily from the Platonic or Aristotelian schools, the philosophy Marcus resonated most deeply with was Stoicism. To him, these teachers were not just guides, but became as close as family. On one occasion, when one of his beloved teachers passed away, Marcus grieved so intensely that he wept uncontrollably, to the point where the servants had to intervene. Events like these highlight the depth of Marcus's emotions, challenging the common misconception that Stoics are emotionless. In reality, Stoicism does not advocate suppressing emotions. Rather, it emphasizes redirecting negative emotions to cultivate healthier ones. Marcus found joy and reverence in his teacher, making that relationship incredibly meaningful. Seneca, another renowned Stoic philosopher, once said, "When you have accepted someone as a friend, trust them with all your heart and be as honest with them as you would be with yourself." For Stoics, relationships are an essential part of what makes life worth living. Stoicism emphasizes virtuous living as a core principle, and to do that, you need relationships to express those virtues. How Stoicism views love and connection as a way to honor human virtues, giving us opportunities to show trust, honesty, and respect. Meaningful relationships are where Stoics can express their true selves, enriching life with depth and fulfillment. 2. Facing destiny. For much of his childhood, Marcus Aurelius led a simple life, content with his passion for learning and philosophy, something rare for a future emperor. Though he was thoroughly trained in philosophy and politics, Marcus had no desire for power. However, in 138 AD, Emperor Hadrian passed away, bringing Marcus one step closer to the throne. Standing before him was Antonius, his uncle, foster father, and Hadrian's successor. Marcus knew that becoming emperor was a heavy responsibility, a fate he could not escape. Marcus did not wish to rule because he understood that power could corrupt even the wisest of individuals. But Stoicism helped him face his destiny with calmness and responsibility. One of the key principles of Stoicism is to live in harmony with nature, to accept fate, and focus only on what you can control. This concept is known as the dichotomy of control, the clear distinction between what is within your control and what is not. For Stoics, everything is subject to fate, and they constantly remind themselves to discern this difference. So this is why the Stoic trichotomy emerged, a clear separation between what lies within and outside one's control. With every event in life, a Stoic determines whether it falls outside their power or within the sphere they can control. For Marcus, this distinction was incredibly helpful in confronting his destiny. He understood that becoming emperor was something he could not change, but how he prepared himself mentally and physically was within his control. Armed with this awareness, Marcus began to study Stoic philosophy more deeply and carefully observe the way Antonius lived, someone he lived. 3. The Stoic Mentor. Stoics understand how easily we can be swept away by our ego and our own thoughts. For this reason, they often seek a Stoic mentor to emulate and guide their actions. This mentor could be someone still living or long gone, as long as they can serve as a model for thinking and behaving. For Marcus Aurelius, he had many such mentors, and he often mentioned them in his meditations. One of the greatest influences on Marcus was Antonius, the Southern emperor, and his foster father. To Marcus, Antonius was not just a mentor, but the perfect model of an ideal ruler. Antonius embodied all the qualities of an ideal king: kindness, patience, wisdom, fairness, and great courage. Throughout Antonius's reign, Marcus looked up to him as a template for the kind of emperor he aspired to be. Perhaps the best mentors aren't always those who are out of reach. Sometimes it's just someone who is a step or two ahead of us, someone who has achieved what we are striving for. Other times, our mentor may be someone from farther down the timeline, from a past generation, or even someone who lived thousands of years ago. But whether in the present or the past, these mentors help us reflect on our actions and thoughts, providing standards to model ourselves after. They are a source of encouragement to help us overcome challenges and maintain our virtues, especially during difficult moments. 4. Cultivating Happiness. In 161 AD, Antonius passed away, and Marcus Aurelius was compelled to take on the role of Roman emperor. His first action in this position was to appoint his half-brother Lucius as co-emperor to share the responsibility of ruling the empire. Marcus did not want to bear the heavy burden of the emperor's role alone. Although they shared power, Marcus and Lucius were two opposite extremes in their approach to life. Marcus was compassionate, philosophical, and disciplined, while Lucius indulged in hedonism, with lavish parties that lasted day and night. While it is impossible to know for sure, it seems likely that Marcus was happier than his brother. He did not participate in the reckless festivities, nor did he suffer the consequences of indulging in excess. Thanks to the teachings of Stoicism, Marcus understood the true nature of happiness. Marcus recognized a profound difference between the fleeting pleasures of the external world, such as sex, food, flattery, or material wealth, and the lasting inner joy that comes from living with wisdom and virtue. While Lucius appeared to live solely in pursuit of fleeting moments of joy, Marcus saw deeper meaning in creating a sustainable empire and providing opportunities for his people to live in harmony with nature and demonstrate their virtues. Marcus understood that when we have a reason to live, we can endure any challenge. As Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow." Stoics do not deny pleasure, but they recognize that it is not the path to lasting happiness. They see moderate pleasure as normal and healthy, but true happiness must stem from inner values and self-control. Marcus cultivated this attitude that through a Stoic principle called indifference, he could enjoy socializing. Good food, power, wealth, and luxuries, but he was always ready to accept their disappearance at any moment. Said difference allowed Marcus to avoid becoming dependent on external things and to maintain a tranquil spirit in the face of life's changes. This was the foundation for the lasting happiness that Marcus built and sustained for himself. 5. Journaling. During his reign, Marcus Aurelius faced many challenges, including leading Rome in the Marcomannic War from 166 to 180 AD. Despite his extensive education, Marcus had little experience in actual warfare. Unlike seasoned generals, Marcus did not directly command on the battlefield and lacked military expertise. However, much like when he was crowned emperor, Marcus once again accepted his fate and focused on mentally preparing himself for his responsibilities. One of the methods that helped Marcus strengthen his spirit was journaling. Regardless of the stress and dangers of battle, Marcus never skipped a day. For him and many other Stoic philosophers, journaling was a valuable tool for maintaining the goal of living with wisdom and virtue. Writing down his thoughts not only helped Marcus process his emotions and reflect on his inner contemplations, but it was also a way for him to gain a deeper understanding of himself. For Marcus, journaling was a form of self-reflection, helping him observe his thoughts and emotions clearly. By putting pen to paper, he could reassess events, manage his emotions, and reaffirm the values he pursued. This was not merely a habit, but a spiritual ritual that allowed Marcus to face challenges with the tranquility and wisdom of Stoicism. For Marcus, journaling was a way to maintain inner balance. He understood that writing down his thoughts helped clarify issues that might otherwise become overwhelming in his mind. It was how he found peace and direction, even during the most trying times of his life. 6. Preparing for hardships. Stoics believe that the most important thing is to remain calm and composed, even in the face of adversity. To be ready for challenges, they don't shy away but face them head-on. They understand that overcoming hardships, whether it's a toxic relationship, a terrifying illness, or physical pain, provides strength and deep growth. One of the inspiring quotes from Ryan Holiday's book, The Obstacle, is the way emphasizes this point. The obstacle in the path becomes the path. Never forget, within every obstacle is an opportunity to improve our condition. Overcoming hardship is not something to be avoided, but is part of life's journey, helping us grow and emerge stronger on the other side. Marcus Aurelius often prepared for difficulties through a Stoic practice known as negative visualization, imagining misfortunes that might happen. For instance, he would picture a loved one falling seriously ill or losing his possessions. This practice helps prepare the mind for when bad things do happen, allowing us to face them with composure and resilience. Alongside negative visualization, Marcus also practiced voluntarily giving up certain comforts as a way to train his spirit. Just as vaccinations boost the body's immunity, voluntarily giving up ease and luxury strengthens the mind. Despite being a Roman emperor, Marcus often fasted and refrained from indulging in luxuries like feasts, drinking, and watching games. These practices helped him maintain tranquility and be ready to face any unexpected adversity. It is important to distinguish between voluntary renunciation and living austerely. Stoics do not make themselves suffer unless circumstances demand it. They only give up unnecessary things, those that they can live happily without. They find happiness in self-control, not relying on external material things, which helps them face future challenges with confidence and resilience. 7. Dealing with criticism. Despite his many wise decisions and noble qualities, Marcus Aurelius still faced plenty of criticism from those who disagreed with him. Some considered him a weak ruler, too immersed in philosophy and contemplation rather than focusing on power and strength. As emperor, Marcus could have easily executed his critics, as many emperors before him had done. But Marcus chose a more tolerant and wise approach. Instead of eliminating dissenters, Marcus tried to change their minds through reason or practice patience by ignoring the criticism. He did not view criticism as something personal that needed to be fought against. Instead, he genuinely asked himself whether the criticism reflected the truth. If it did, he would amend his behavior to improve. If it didn't, he would ask himself, if it does not harm my virtue, then how can it harm me? With this perspective, Marcus Aurelius turned criticism into an opportunity for growth. Stoics often actively seek criticism from those around them. They build a trusted circle, people who dare to point out their faults to help them improve. Instead of fearing or avoiding it, they embrace criticism with purpose. As a result, Marcus not only remained calm and rational, but he also developed his virtues and wisdom through every piece of feedback. To him, criticism was not an insult, but a valuable tool for self-improvement, strengthening patience and continuing to live by Stoic values with self-control, composure, and virtue. 8. Facing anger. According to Stoicism, anger is one of the most harmful emotions because it robs us of what distinguishes us from animals, our ability to reason. When angry, people often act entirely on emotion, losing their self-control and judgment. Throughout his reign, Marcus Aurelius employed many Stoic strategies to remain calm and control his anger, one of which was always demonstrating kindness in every situation. One example of this is when General Cassius, whom Marcus deeply trusted, betrayed him towards the end of the Marcomannic War. Cassius instigated rebellion and became Marcus's enemy. In this situation, most Roman emperors would have responded by executing Cassius along with his family and supporters. But Marcus chose a more merciful approach. He only punished those who had committed murder and pardoned the soldiers who had fought under Cassius, allowing them to return to serve in the Roman army. Marcus even forgave the cities that had sided with Cassius. This leniency not only earned Marcus the respect of the Roman people, but also exemplified the type of emperor he aspired to be, a ruler beloved by the people, not one who ruled through fear. Another method Marcus used to soothe his anger was to delay his response. Stoics believe that time is the best remedy for reducing anger. When something unexpected happens, we often feel our emotions rise and react immediately. But Marcus knew that sometimes delaying action allows us to make more rational decisions. Imagine a simple situation. If someone accidentally bumps into you at the grocery store, your first reflex might be to turn around and get angry. But if you take a moment to take a deep breath and delay your reaction, you may realize that the person didn't do it on purpose, and an aggressive response would only escalate the situation. And faced with anger, Stoics advise delaying action to allow time for reflection, as this moment gives us the chance to rationalize our emotions and respond way. After taking some time to reflect, we often realize that anger could lead to negative consequences for ourselves and our relationships. Patience and composure in the face of anger, as Marcus practiced, not only help us maintain dignity, but also demonstrate understanding and compassion, two virtues highly valued in Stoicism. 9. Self-reflection. Self-reflection is one of the ways that Stoics practiced embodying the virtues of Stoicism in both action and thought. Simply understanding these principles was not enough. They needed to make these principles part of themselves. Marcus Aurelius frequently used this method, and in his meditations he shared various self-reflective techniques that helped him maintain calmness and steadiness. Every morning, Marcus began his day by reminding himself, "The people I meet today will be troublesome, ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, selfish, and irritable. They act this way because they cannot distinguish between good and evil." By doing this, he not only prepared himself for the challenges he might face, but also reminded himself to uphold his virtues. Instead of reacting negatively, Marcus framed his approach to others with tolerance and patience. Additionally, Marcus practiced memento mori, the contemplation of death, a profound self-reflective practice that helped him evaluate life through the lens of its finite nature. He often reminded himself that all of us have a limited time on earth. When considering death, trivial matters lose their significance. Petty arguments or dissatisfaction over unimportant things become meaningless. Reminding himself of life's transience helped him focus on what truly mattered, rather than on superficial issues like whether to allow or forbid an inconsequential action. Through self-reflection and contemplating significant matters such as death, Marcus Aurelius found the strength to let go of trivialities and maintain a tranquil, steadfast life. Stoicism not only taught him how to endure hardships, but also helped him find peace and profound purpose in life's challenges. 10. Contemplating death. For many people, death is a subject filled with fear and taboo. However, for Stoics, death is not only natural but also a powerful motivator that drives them to act and live meaningfully. Death gives life its meaning. Without it, all events, failures, and even successes would become meaningless. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself of death. One of his methods was to imagine an older version of himself in the mirror each time he passed by. And this practice helped him remember that time is fleeting and that his role as emperor was only temporary. By doing this, Marcus prevented himself from getting caught up in fame and power, reminding himself to focus on lasting values. In Meditations, Marcus wrote about the fleeting nature of fame. Those who remember us will also soon be gone. This reminder helped him not be bound by others' opinions, but instead focus on virtue and wisdom. Stoicism teaches that contemplating death is a way to better understand life and focus on what truly matters. So How to Think Like a Roman Emperor by Donald Robertson is a work that has had a profound impact on readers, providing practical Stoic methods as applied by Marcus himself. If Marcus were alive today, he would likely encourage you to read Stoic works to better understand his thinking and find the tools necessary to face life. Through study and reflection, we learn not only how to face death, but also how to find a more meaningful and peaceful life. Thank you for watching our video. If you find this video valuable and meaningful, please share it with your friends and relatives. Also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos from our channel in the future.